I'm your host, Louis Sarkis, and today I'm thrilled to be interviewing a guest who is making waves in the world of leadership and development. Allow me to introduce Jerry, a John Maxwell certified coach, speaker, and a driving force behind the Champion Mentorship. Welcome, Jerry, to the show.
Louis, thank you, my friend. It is great, first of all, to see you, and it's great to be able to be on here. I think people should know that you and I have been friends for several years. We do a lot of stuff out here in the Coachella Valley, and I'm just honored to be a guest here on your show and hope that we can bring value to the listeners that will be listening to this.
Yeah, honor's mine, and I'm just so happy you're on the show.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to hear your story. And also, you are a brand new member of the Love Local Coachella Valley. Welcome to that as well.
I'm excited to be part of that, to plug into the things that you're doing, and to just meet some great business people and entrepreneurs in our community. And, you know, I always come from the mindset of how can I add value? And that's what I'm always trying to do, is find ways to add value to our community, our business owners, and our entrepreneurs. And I'm so grateful to you for putting that all together and giving business owners like myself a platform and opportunity to do that. So thank you, my friend.
Thank you, Jerry. Thanks for coming over. All right, so let's dive into it. All right, so Jerry, as a Maxwell certified coach, can you share with us the core principle of Maxwell philosophy and how it shapes your coaching approach of Champion Mentorship?
Absolutely. You know, people always ask me, why did I choose to get certified as a Maxwell leadership coach, speaker, and trainer? And to be able to go back just a little bit, when I started in my first business almost 30 years ago, I didn't know a thing about leadership. I didn't even know how to lead myself out the front door of my own house, yet alone lead other people.
Exactly.
So I think we've all been there, right?
We've all been there.
And I went to my my VP at the time and said, I need to learn leadership, because I knew that leadership could be learned and developed, but I didn't know how. And so he recommended 3 books to me. All of them were by John Maxwell. The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, Developing the Leader Around You, Developing the Leader Within You. And I read those 3 books, and it gave me this confidence and this foundation that I really have built upon for the last 30 some years. And when I say that John Maxwell has really dramatically impacted my life and my business through his books and his trainings, I mean, that's no understatement. And so in 2018, when I decided what I wanted to do with my business, and I found out that they were actually certifying people to be coaches, speakers, and trainers, it was a no-brainer to me. I wanted to go out and be able to teach people principles that I knew worked because they worked for me, and values that are the values that I have. And so the essence of the Maxwell leadership team and what we teach is that everything rises and falls on leadership. You show me strong organizations, Louis, I'll show you strong leaders.
Yeah.
You show me organizations that are faltering, and I'll show you leaders that are probably faltering as well.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we're all leaders. We lead our children, we lead our marriages, our communities, our churches, our businesses. And so leadership is not something you ever arrive at. It's something you continually grow into. There's always other levels of leadership. And so what I like to do is work with entrepreneurs, work with businesses, with the plethora of different available options and trainings that I have, and be able to help them and their teams, whether it's in communication, team building, or just learning how to be stronger leaders, take their leadership to the next level. And that's what I focus on doing every day.
That's cool. That takes me to my next question. So what specific strategies and methods do you use to train and sharpen leaders?
Well, there's a lot of different things that we do. First of all, I like to do what I like to call lunch and learns. Great opportunity for me to go into businesses that maybe don't know me personally or know what I do. They bring their lunch in, and I'll come in for free and give their team a 45-minute training on whatever part of leadership is important to that organization. So that's
Right.
one way.
Yeah.
Another way that we do things is I am also a DISC behavioral consultant analysis, and I'm able to do the DISC profiles, which is the different personality types and how we all communicate and work well together. And so one of my favorite things to do is to go into businesses and be able to do a DISC presentation and teach people all the different types of ways we communicate and how as groups and teams you can learn how to communicate better together so you're more efficient and effective in what you do. And then I also like to do live events where now that we're back in person, where we have opportunities to bring people in and do really high level leadership trainings, in which I have one here coming into the desert at the end of October, really giving people a platform to hear from these top level leaders from around the world in this great environment with other entrepreneurs and other business owners. So not only are they learning, but they're also networking and growing their own businesses and being able to make new connections at the same time.
That's awesome. Really would like to hear more about that in a few minutes. Can you share an instant where your coaching had a significant impact on a leader or a team that transformed their work or organization?
Wow. Lewis, you asked the hard questions, man. That's a good one. And, there's one.
I have to make it exciting.
You do. And the funny thing is, we didn't talk about any of these questions in advance, so my wheels are spinning as you're asking me this.
I know you can do it.
I can do. I have faith in myself. There's one person that comes to my mind that I was actually coaching with a couple of years ago, and they were just in this leadership. I like to call it quicksand. And many times as leaders, we find ourselves in this place where we feel like we're sinking and we just don't know how to get out. And one of the things that I like to do along with leadership is I do a lot of mindset training. And part of it is getting into their thoughts of what is causing them to be in the places that they were in. So when I was talking to this particular leader, we really started delving into the whys. Why are you struggling? Why aren't things working? Why are you not doing the things you should be doing? And it was amazing as we started to have these conversations, I call it the shovel conversation, where you're taking a shovel, Lewis, and hey, we're going to go dig. Okay, we're not going to look at what's on the surface. We're going to look at the root.
Yeah.
What's causing this to happen? And a lot of people don't want to go there, and a lot of people don't want to take people there. But that's the only way change really happens, is you've got to dig that dirt out from what's buried on top of them. And we spent probably about 2 weeks, 2 times a week, really just digging into limiting beliefs, things that had prevented her from winning, things she wasn't doing correctly in the way she wanted to. And we made some adjustments. I taught her some ways of better communicating with her customers. I helped her figure out how she likes to communicate so she knows how to communicate with others better. Taught her some of the laws of growth that John Maxwell teaches, the law of the rubber band about being stretched, and that when you're in that moment of being stretched, that's when you're getting to that next level. And so I took a whole bunch of things from my toolkit to really help her. And all I can do is provide the tools. And then it's up to the person, are they going to use them or not?
Yeah.
And she was one of these people that went out, actually put those tools to use. And over the course of the next 18 months, she went ahead and doubled her business.
No way.
It was all in the mind, and it was all in her not wanting to dig deep, but my ability with the skills that I have and what I've learned to know how to take people into that deep dive, so that way we can get to the root cause of what their issues are and really help them get their feet back on the ground and get moving again. That's the first one that came to me when you mentioned that to me.
That's awesome. I'm glad you shared that with us.
Thank you, my friend.
Can you emphasize a little bit more on that rubber band technique?
Yeah, it's funny too because I usually
That's kind
have.
of intrigued me a little bit.
Oh my goodness. And of course I ran out of my rubber bands, but I have rubber bands sitting on my desk. But if you take a rubber band, a rubber band does no good if you just hold it in your hand. The purpose of a rubber band is to stretch.
Yeah.
That's its purpose. So the rubber band theory that we teach is that we, like a rubber band, are no good unless we're stretching. Unless we're stretching our leadership skills, going to the next level. The challenge is that most people want the benefits that they'll get from stretching, but they want to know how they can get it without stretching.
Right.
And that doesn't work. And so when we do executive coaching, training, and even at our live events, we really teach people several different ways to stretch that rubber band, which is themselves, how to effectively stretch yourself and get yourself to do the things that maybe you don't want to do the things that you know you need to do, and really stretch. Sometimes, like right now, this is a stretch for me.
Yeah.
Because most of the times when I do, things like this with other people, I kind of have an idea of, what it is that we're going to talk about. You and I, we got on here and we're just going to talk.
Yeah.
So I'm stretching myself as my brain's going, thinking of the answers to your questions, which is great.
I love it.
Leadership, it's so involved. There's so many moving parts. But a lot of the things that I deal with when I deal with people in leadership capabilities is dealing with how to overcome their doubts that are holding them back, their lack of confidence, which stems from their doubts, because you can't be confident and have doubts at the same time and be effective. They might be there, but you're going to have to learn how to manage those doubts, or those doubts will manage you. So I deal with people in the doubts that they have, the lack of confidence they have, the new world that we're living in today and the way that we have to do business. Lots of people get into this mindset that there's a time frame on leadership growth, that if I haven't achieved a certain level by a certain time, then I must not be cut out to be a leader. And one of the things I teach people, Louis, all the time is the moment that you put a time frame on success, you've already failed, because you can't put a time frame on success. Everybody's journey is different. And so I teach people how to enjoy the journey while they're growing, while they're developing, and while they're learning. And I work with a lot of leaders that are top level leaders. But just because you're a top level leader doesn't mean there's not another level that you can grow to. And so it doesn't matter if someone's brand new, doesn't understand anything about leadership, like I did 30 years ago, or someone's kind of in the middle of that leadership journey, or someone is a top level leader. There is always room to grow and get better, because the one thing I've learned, Louis, in 30 years of doing this, there are no perfect leaders. We all have things we deal with. And part of what I like to do is customize everything I do for each individual leader I sit down with. It's not a one size fits all plan. It's a what do you need help with? And let me try to help you in your areas that you need to grow in.
Can you name some of the companies you worked with or some of the leaders?
Yeah,
you've helped?
absolutely. I first of all was a vice president with Primerica Financial Services for 18 years.
Okay.
Did a lot of trainings there. That's where I kind of got my background to do the things that I do now.
Oh, that's good.
Arbonne is another large network marketing company that I've dealt with for probably over 10 years. There's another company that I had the privilege of doing a keynote training for last year. Their company name is Urbane Cafe. Amazing company, doing some great things, tremendous leadership that they have. Most people may not know them, but they're up and coming. And I have the privilege of going next month to their conference in Vegas and being the keynote speaker for them as well. And so just in that realm alone, that has kept me pretty busy for the last 10 years.
So you don't really just only teach leaders, but you actually are teaching, or you are mentoring to salespeople. right?
Yeah.
Salespeople, organizations, not just, oh, let me just teach, CEOs or managers, but you're actually talking to the whole organization.
Whole organization from the top down.
Nice.
Yeah. Because everybody at every level needs a different level of leadership training.
Yeah.
Because you can't train someone who's up and coming the same way you train a CEO who already knows a whole lot of stuff, or you lose the people that are up and coming.
Okay.
So I think of leadership, Lewis, as I got to meet the leader where the leader is.
Yeah.
Start from there and help them build to where they want to go.
That's great. Have you written any books?
I have not, but I am in the process of beginning to write my first book.
I had a feeling. You're going to do that.
Lewis, I've been asked that for 3 years, and people ask me, well, what is your book going to be about? And I didn't know, but one of the things that, and we can share this on maybe another call, but doubt was something that almost destroyed my life. I mean, to the point that 17 years ago, I was laying on the floor of my apartment getting ready to commit suicide. And so I'm writing a book. It's called Don't Let Doubt Take You Out, 7 Strategies for Managing Doubt so Doubt Doesn't Manage You.
Oh, wow.
And I'm excited to share my
I'm excited to be the first person to buy it.
Oh, buddy, you need to buy it. I'm giving you a copy, man.
Well, make sure you sign it.
I'll sign it for you, but I'll give you a copy.
Because you're going to be so famous. I know that's for sure.
Now, you know the funny thing is too, Lewis, I do what I do not to be famous.
Yeah.
I do what I do to make a difference in other people's lives with the blessings that I've been given in my life and the things that I've learned along the way. And as a byproduct, if that means you become famous, fantastic. But I don't seek fame. I seek making a difference, just like you.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. So listen. So do you actually try, like you just only do these classes and webinars and everything? Do you do webinars or do you do in person or both?
Both.
Both.
Now,
Okay.
Basically prior to COVID, I was literally traveling all over the world. I mean, I went to Australia, I went to New Zealand, I went all over the world. COVID hit.
Yeah.
So I had to turn my business into a virtual business. So I still do lots of virtual.
You should have bought stock in Zoom, huh?
Zoom. I should have, because that's all I use. I should have.
Everybody tells me that.
I should, but then I may not have been doing this because I'd be so wealthy with the stock. So it all works out, right? No, but now I still do Zoom trainings. But now I'm starting to travel and go to different businesses, companies in and around Southern California, even out of the States. If there's companies that would love the leadership training that I provide, I'm starting to get back in that swing as well. So I'm doing both right now.
Good. Do you have any events set up in the future?
Yeah, we have an event.
And other than Coachella Valley, we'll talk about the one in Coachella Valley in a minute. But other than that,
as of right now, I don't, because I'm just kind of getting back in the swing of scheduling events, and people are just kind of getting back into wanting to do events. But hey, if there's businesses or leaders out there listening that say, hey, I'd love to talk with you about coming out and doing an event for my team, hey, let me know. I'd be more than happy to chat with you.
Hire Jerry, you guys. Hire Jerry. All right, so a couple more questions. What something that you can tell the audience that can inspire them, inspire a leader out there, or inspire a salesperson out there? Somebody's maybe in doubt, or somebody's just down or something. What can you give them as an advice?
Boy, there's so many things I can give them, but once again,
I know.
What comes to my mind is this, something I do every day. Leadership is tough. It's not an easy thing. And the reason that leaders, for the most part, get paid the type of money they get paid is because they're willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do. And so people see leadership as this wonderful thing, and it is. But there comes with the challenges and setbacks and things. And sometimes you start to doubt yourself when things aren't working. They're not going right. What's wrong with me? How come this isn't working? So 2 things I'll tell you. I'll give you a bonus one, but here's 2 things. Number 1, as a leader, the kiss of death in any profession is when you're comparing your leadership journey to somebody else's. You need to stop comparing yourself with other leaders. I say it this way, Lewis, When you compare yourself to other leaders, you become bitter. But when you compare yourself to yourself, you become better. And every day your goal is to be a little better than you were the day before as a leader. That's the first thing I teach people.
Great advice.
Thank you, sir. The second thing is affirmation. And I've been saying this affirmation for I don't know how long, 20 years. And this is just because I believe that what you speak out and what your mind hears is what you will create. And so many times we're focusing on all the challenges, the circumstances, what isn't working, who's quitting, sales that have fallen apart. I know it's frustrating, but when you focus on that constantly, you just seem to get a never-ending byproduct of that. So you got to change what you focus on and what you think, and that includes what you speak. And so I have this affirmation, and I say this every day. I say, every day, I'm becoming a better, stronger, more confident, and influential leader. Every day, I'm becoming a better, stronger, more confident, and influential leader. And you just say that as many times a day as you need to. When you're down, when your sales fall apart, you say that. Yeah. When things aren't going well, you say that. And you may not believe it, but your mind hears it. And it starts to guide you in the direction of you becoming the very person that you're describing through the words that you speak. I mean, that has changed my life, literally. As simple as that is, Lewis, it's changed my life.
So simple, yet so powerful.
So we're going to be doing an event here in the Valley, in the Coachella Valley in Bermuda Dunes. It's called Live to Lead. And one of the reasons that I'm so excited about this, Lewis, is because most people want leadership training. The challenge is we got to go a long ways to get it. Most of the time it's LA, Orange County, San Diego County, or out of state. You're talking about gas, a whole day, hotels, all that stuff. And to bring a world-class leadership event into our own backyard is something I've always had a passion for. So in my company, Champion Mentorship, partnering with Maxwell Leadership, John Maxwell's organization, we are bringing to the Coachella Valley our Live to Lead Leadership Conference. And it will be on Saturday, October 28th. And it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's not going to ruin your whole day. And the speakers that you're going to hear from will be a live simulcast. So they won't be in person, but there'll be a video simulcast. And you're going to hear from John Maxwell, who is the #1 leadership trainer in the entire world. He's written 85 books, sold over 30 million copies. I mean, anyone in a leadership circle that you mentioned John Maxwell, they know John Maxwell. So he's going to be the headline speaker.
Everybody knows John Maxwell.
Everyone knows John Maxwell. So just hearing him is worth the price of admission. But then we're going to hear from a gentleman named Marcus Buckingham. Marcus is the world's most prominent researcher on strengths, leadership, and high performance at work. He spent 2 decades working at the Gallup organization. He co-created the tool called the Strength Finder that many people know about. He's the author of 2 best-selling books, and he's going to be there talking about leadership in the world we live in today and some of the research he's come up with on how to grow your leadership. So he's going to be the second speaker. Third speaker is a gentleman named Ryan Leak, L-E-A-K. Ryan is an amazing executive coach. He trains people all over the world. He's written a book, and I wrote the book down because I read it and I don't want to forget it. It's called Chasing Failure. And if you want to read a great book, go to Amazon and type in Chasing Failure. What a phenomenal book. He's a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, and he's going to be one of the speakers as well. The last speaker that day, who I'm really excited to hear from, is Kendra Scott. And, ladies will probably know who she is more than men, but Kendra Scott owns a jewelry chain that's all over the world, Kendra Scott Jewelers. And Kendra Scott is one of only 20 women in the entire United States who was the founder of a company that is now a $1 billion brand, billion with a B.
Wow.
So those 4 leaders, along with myself, are going to be the people that will be speaking at this Live to Lead conference.
Incredible.
And So there's all sorts of ways to get involved. An individual ticket for the event, $149. It includes breakfast, lunch, your registration, and the workbook that goes along with it. So that's one way you can do it. Then we have 2 options for tables. Like, let's say there's people that want to bring some of their team. So you can get a 4-top table, which includes 4 lunches, breakfast, registrations and workbooks. A 4-top is $500. If you have a bigger team, you want to get an 8-top table, which is a full table, that would be $1,000. That includes everything, breakfast, lunch, the whole 9 yards. And we also have sponsorship opportunities available, so that if there's businesses that want to be able to have their logo put on the manual, maybe have an exhibitor table at the event, be mentioned from the stage, have their marketing material put in our little package we're going to give to everybody in there, there's a sponsorship opportunity available, and they can get that on my website. And that's kind of the price structure for it.
Okay.
And so we're just looking forward to this. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. I mean, to hear these level of trainers, billion-dollar people in our own backyard. And this is good. Listen, if they're in LA, they could drive down here.
And the price is not bad at all.
Not at all. Not
for
at
everything
all.
you get. Oh my God.
Absolutely. So for people that want to be sponsors, let me give you the website. I know you have my website, my main website on the screen right now. But if you want to go to the website to look at the registration and the sponsorship packages, that one is Live to Lead, and that's the number 2. So it's live2lead.championmentorship.com. live2lead.championmentorship.com. And there you can get all the information, and you can register for any of those packages you want right on the website.
I cannot wait. I'll be there.
It's going to be so fun, my friend. I'm telling you, it's going to be awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. Well, thanks again for coming on my episode of What is Your Story, my podcast. Can't wait to see you in October, my friend. And you guys, check him out. Go to his website and buy those tickets. Buy them today. Thanks again for watching What is Your Story. I'm your host, Louis Sarkis. Thanks again.
Thanks, Louis.